1. Solitude is wonderful. When you truly return to yourself, you realize that solitude is incredibly wonderful. It is only when solitude reaches its depths that the heart opens to boundless compassion, joy, and equanimity. When someone asked Zen Master Vian Min, "Dear Master, why do I feel unbearable loneliness after losing a soulmate? We used to be in perfect harmony, but since I started sharing my spiritual insights with my friend, we began to have disagreements. I lost my soulmate because of that. Are the paths of life and spirituality truly so different?" Zen Master Vian Min replied, "Life and spirituality are part of the same existence, but lead in different directions. It's like a river where boats can either go downstream or upstream. The spiritual path is often called the countercurrent because it goes against the flow of worldly life. Lao Tzu said in learning, we gain daily in the spiritual path, we lose daily. This means that in life, the more you have, the more you have, the more you want. Gaining one thing means losing another, so you never feel satisfied. In spirituality, you gradually lose until there is nothing left to lose. And having nothing is not an issue. These two directions are indeed very different. In life, everyone seems to need social relationships, family, friends, clubs, associations, etc. As people always seek something to resonate with, especially soulmates who understand each other. However, it's rare to find someone who aligns with you throughout your entire life. So inevitably, there comes a time when paths diverge, especially when spiritual and worldly directions differ. Confucianism says that our nature is similar, but our habits take us further apart. Like a shared root but different branches, when a soulmate suddenly changes direction, loneliness becomes unbearable, prompting a search for new relationships. Loneliness can be unfortunate, but in spirituality, it is essential for returning to silence and self-discovery. It is the narrow gate to enter God's kingdom. Hence God said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me, meaning without returning to yourself, without practicing mindfulness correctly, without living according to the noble path, one cannot attain ultimate truth, which is true companionship. Therefore, solitude is indeed a marvelous thing. At the very least, enduring loneliness and suffering through life's ups and downs without complaining or seeking comfort from others makes you stronger. Just as muddy swamps help lotus flowers bloom with fragrance, truly returning to yourself makes solitude wonderful. When loneliness reaches its depths, the heart opens to boundless compassion and joy. On the contrary, seeking external reliance, relying on soulmates, binds the heart in narrow relationships, making it vulnerable. That's why losing such friendships causes feelings of loneliness, emptiness, and pain. The Buddha enlightened many people but never wanted anyone to depend on him, nor did he ever depend on anyone. The extraordinary capacity can only be experienced by those who embrace solitude. 2. Can only those who know how to be alone become extraordinary? Accepting and enjoying solitude is a state of wisdom. First, one must harmonize with oneself before learning to harmonize with others. Zhuangzi said the one who knows how to be alone is considered noble, meaning that those who are comfortable being alone can become exceptional and are regarded as esteemed. Being alone here refers to being free, self-harmonious, and self-improving. It means knowing how to live with oneself. We must realize that, from a young age, we are taught many principles about how to live with others, integrate into society, and excel in the community. However, we often forget the most fundamental truth: the greatest enemy in life is oneself. Anyone who can conquer themselves and learn to live with themselves can conquer everything. 3. Loneliness is inevitable. Zhuangzi had a rival named Huizi, and the two often engaged in dialectical debates. Many times, Huizi was left speechless by Zhuangzi's arguments, such as in the famous story, "You are not a fish, so how do you know the joy of fish?" After Huizi passed away, Zhuangzi recounted a parable to describe the loneliness he felt from losing a spiritual companion. A man had a black spot on his nose, like a mole. He sought out a stonecutter to remove it. The stonecutter deftly swung his axe, casually slicing off the black spot without scratching the man's nose. Song Yuanjun heard of this and called the stonecutter to perform the same demonstration for him. However, the stonecutter refused. When asked why, he replied, "In the past, I could do it calmly, but now I cannot, because my companion has long since passed away." Similarly, Du Fu and Lai Bai once admired each other's talents and traveled together, thinking they would be lifelong companions. However, my heart is set on the mountains, while yours is set on the rivers. When their ambitions diverged, they had to part ways and follow their own paths. Clearly, over the long course of life, no one can be with us forever. In reality, being alone is the eternal state of human existence. During the two most important times in life, birth and death, we can only go through them alone. Therefore, what we must do is learn to face loneliness and live with ourselves better each day. 4. Embracing the value of solitude. In the book The Grandmaster by Zhuangzi, there's a story about two stubborn fish lying together in a drying pond, trying desperately to keep each other wet to survive. Zhuangzi suggests that instead of struggling to get by like this, it would be better to let each other go and find a new life in the vast oceans and rivers. In life, having the chance to travel alongside a companion, whether for a month, a year, or 10 years, is a kind of luck. Ultimately, however, only you can complete your own journey. You must first take charge of your own life before you can live well. Einstein once said, "Great spirits have always encountered violent opposition from mediocre minds. A person with dreams who takes action to turn those dreams into reality, possessing the capability and greatness to outperform others, must inevitably stand out. They dare to step away from the crowd, who are often caught up in trivial dreams and desires such as fame, status, possessions, or indulgence." Many people are busy trapping themselves in small worries, fearing that success is a limited resource that must be fought over and seized. In contrast, those with remarkable minds understand that being different means being lonely, but it also means being free. In that freedom, talent can bring about appropriate prosperity. People of great intellect do not concern themselves with the gossip of the world. They spend their time innovating and generating groundbreaking ideas, rather than explaining themselves to the immature and ordinary. Simply put, they are accustomed to solitary thinking, which, while lonely, is immensely valuable. Their success stems from their abilities, not from words or the opinions of others. 5. Embracing solitude as a form of wisdom. In the wisdom of Zhuangzi, the purpose of life is nothing more than finding oneself and discovering one's own path. Perhaps, along this journey, everyone feels lonely at times, but accepting solitude is the beginning of a fulfilling life. If you cannot find harmony within yourself, you will never be able to harmonize with others. As the German philosopher Arthur Schopenhauer said, only when a person is alone can they truly be themselves. If someone does not love solitude, they do not love freedom, because only in solitude is a person truly free. We can travel the world with others, but only we can journey to the ends of the earth alone. Enjoying solitude is a gentle and pleasant joy, unrelated to material possessions or interests, and untouched by ambition or needs. It comes from within, with an open heart, calmness, and self-control. Embracing solitude is also a stance of courage as we move through life. We can savor speed when moving fast or enjoy the surrounding scenery when moving slowly. We do not let false fame blind us or deceit cloud our hearts. This is the courage of someone who is humble, graceful, wise, and intelligent. Being a sheep can be dull, while the price of being a lion is solitude. Similarly, if you want to be among others, be like the grass. If you want to be a great tree, you must accept loneliness. 6. 5 wonderful things only lonely people get to experience. Many people think being alone means being lonely, isolating oneself from society, or being socially awkward. But do you know that those who can live alone are the most free and talented individuals? There are times when we unexpectedly find ourselves feeling lost and lonely, as if something is missing, even in a crowded place surrounded by friends. At such moments, we only want to be alone, listen to music, read a book, or even take a deep sleep. Compared to the feeling in a noisy place, the tranquility of being alone is truly a blessing. This does not mean that you have an unusual temperament. Life is varied and complex, and many people experience this feeling. From a certain perspective, this is a blessing from above. Here are 5 amazing benefits of those who enjoy being alone, which not everyone experiences. 1. Joy from within. People who enjoy social gatherings often find joy in parties, as interacting with others brings them satisfaction. Sometimes, simply having a meal with friends makes them happy. They value the external world, using outside influences to boost their inner emotions. However, introverted people prefer being alone and exploring their inner selves. This is not an eccentric personality, but a focus on their inner and spiritual world. They cherish warm hugs with family and loved ones, and just these moments can fill them with happiness. Don't think their life is dull in reality. Their soul is full of love and purity. Almost everyone wants a source of motivation to live a joyful life. But can external factors bring lasting happiness? Those who prefer solitude often look within to find their joy. They spend time connecting with their inner selves, which helps them adapt and balance in all circumstances. Once their inner self is balanced, external influences become like passing winds. 2. Personal growth. In work and life, they do not want to remain as mere entertainers. They always make the most of their time. Therefore, the conversations they engage in must stimulate growth, expand their thinking, and provide interesting experiences. Their primary goal is to realize their full potential. Those who enjoy solitude are willing to spend a lot of time alone, thinking about the issues they care about. From their perspective, humanity exists and develops thanks to thinking people become better through reflection. In their world, they don't need many social interactions. Some things they prefer to enjoy and explore alone, and they enjoy listening more. People who enjoy being in a lively atmosphere tend to express themselves more. Therefore, there is a saying when you meet a good friend, even 1,000 cups are not enough when words are incompatible. Even half a sentence is too much. Listening to others helps their thinking to develop, and through that, they continuously grow. 3. Deep communication skills. Those who enjoy social environments often have many friends, but most of these relationships are superficial. On the contrary, people who like to be alone tend to think deeply and carefully, having unique, profound, and delicate insights about their friends, and most of their relationships are lasting. Since they have spent a lot of time understanding themselves, they can easily understand others' thoughts. Sometimes they understand others better than those individuals understand themselves. In addition, because they like to listen and think, others feel valued when interacting with them. They can also offer many good ideas. Therefore, even without asking much, they understand others well and can win over people with deep conversations, earning admiration and affection from those around them. 4. Self-reflection. Someone who spends too much time socializing will have little time to reflect on themselves and question their rights and wrongs. People who enjoy solitude have more time to look at themselves. Self-reflection is a good quality that helps us continuously improve and understand ourselves better. When one can understand themselves, fewer things can disturb their mind, leaving their inner self clear and peaceful. From their perspective, this is the most practical and happiest way to live. If you enjoy a lively life but sometimes feel empty, spend some time reflecting on yourself. You might discover an inner joy that has been hidden for a long time. 5. Great intelligence. Why do they prefer to hang out alone instead of with friends? Why do they find bustling places meaningless? Research shows that highly intelligent people often spend less time socializing because they are busy thinking about themselves and life's meaningful things, setting goals for themselves. It has also been found that intelligent people often lose the joy they usually feel after social gatherings. They prefer a meaningful life over superficial interactions. If you have ever felt lonely and troubled by being alone, you shouldn't worry. It is a blessing from above, giving you time to grow, think, and understand what you need and want. Only then can you take the most substantial steps in your life and achieve your goals. Everything in the universe has its balance. Nothing is taken without something given in return. When you lack one thing, you gain something else. If you enjoy living alone, congratulations, because many people are lost, not knowing what they want, living meaningless lives without direction. They cannot succeed and do not have the potential you possess. 7. How to make the most of your alone time. Understand that growing up may distance you from those you were once close to, and it may also bring you closer to those who will grow with you. The time in between can be challenging, but there is much to learn in solitude. There have been many times in my life when I felt lonely. Some of these times were incredibly painful, while others were extremely enjoyable. At times, I even forced myself into seclusion, which comes easily to me as an introvert. But that's okay, because there are plenty of opportunities for self-development. In today's world, with the rapid advancement of technology, it's easy to stay connected at all times. However, every issue has two sides. In fact, I have realized that solitude can be incredibly rewarding in many ways. When night falls, I truly discover my life's purpose, where creative and exciting ideas are sparked. Many authors, artists, musicians, and philosophers have claimed that their best work comes from their time spent in solitude. As Aldous Huxley once said, the more powerful and original a mind, the more it will incline towards the religion of solitude. We need time alone because we can gain a deeper understanding of ourselves when we're alone and see what is important and what isn't. We can better acknowledge our feelings and desires without distractions. We have space to quietly reflect and reevaluate what we've done. We recover and recharge when alone. We can tap into our intuition and learn to trust our decisions. This doesn't mean I'm encouraging isolation. It would be unhealthy to spend all our time alone. It's undeniable that for some people, spending an entire day alone without social interaction is dull. Why is that? Always being busy is also a way to distract ourselves. When we're involved in many activities, there's less time to face ourselves and our emotions. Many people fear loneliness because it is unfamiliar. They don't know what will happen when they confront their thoughts and feelings. But when we avoid solitude, we miss out on what it can offer. How do we overcome the fear of loneliness to embrace its possibilities? As a child, I often enjoyed spending time alone drawing, writing, reading, and exploring the great outdoors. During my school years, I was busy having fun with friends, increasingly neglecting time for myself. When I graduated from college and was caught up in the work grind, I hardly knew who I was anymore. After some failures, I found myself hitting rock bottom in my 20s. I returned to live with my parents, penniless, jobless, and without self-esteem. I was forced into solitude. I found myself alone during the darkest period of my life, and I thought depression was inevitable. Every morning, I would wake up and lock myself in my room. I had few friends in town since moving to London, but I no longer wanted to contact them. It was just me and my cat, spending hours alone in a small, dark bedroom. I cried a lot and constantly isolated myself. I hated the feeling of being alone, but deep down, I needed solitude. My story about the loneliest time in my life isn't exactly pleasant, but I realized it was a turning point. When my depression peaked, I contemplated suicide, but then a source of strength emerged, urging me to listen to what solitude had to offer and help me rediscover my true self. I was determined to pull myself out of despair. During a meditation one night, I felt a strange peace. I knew there was a way out of my sadness, and that being alone could teach me more than any book. I had the courage to step outside. I started noticing things around me, like the vibrancy of nature, the soothing sounds of the river, and the visible beauty everywhere. Even while living with my family, there were always times when I could be alone. Here are 3 methods that can make those times more valuable for you. 1. Meditation. Meditation is a fascinating experience that enhances your focus. Sitting in silence and stillness can also reduce stress, improve mental health, and increase self-awareness. For me, meditation is a continuous practice, though not always consistent, providing a deeper connection with myself. 2. Journaling. Writing daily is an excellent way to enhance the value of your moments alone. It gives you a deeper insight into yourself and fosters creativity, as inspiration often arises in moments of quiet reflection. Writing allows you to listen to the voice within and encourages you to question what you truly want. 3. Connecting with nature. Meditative walks in nature help calm the soul and uplift our mood. Much of my inner happiness depends on the time I spend outdoors alone. I find peace when walking in a forest or by the sea. During your alone time, I encourage you to do the following. 1. Eliminate distractions. When you choose to spend time alone, truly commit to your solitude. It's tempting to grab your phone and scroll through social media or watch YouTube videos, so be disciplined and avoid distractions. Your alone time won't be valuable if you're only distracting yourself. Instead, spend time alone and see what that space can teach you. 2. Prioritize it. Everyone has time to devote to themselves. Even if you feel uncomfortable or hesitant to decline a social invitation, don't make excuses to avoid being alone. The more comfortable you feel spending time doing what you love and reconnecting with yourself, the more connected you'll feel with others. Self-love comes from solitude, and with this love, you can give more to those you want to share it with. Try spending time alone. It might not feel comfortable the first time, and you might look for ways to escape it, but spending time alone is one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself. There is significant personal growth when you take the time to nurture the relationship you have with yourself.
If you find these stories inspiring and they motivate you to take action, please comment 9. If not, comment 0. Your feedback means a lot to us. Thank you for your valuable time.